This is the second year I've asked you guys to rate every single pack in The Sims 4. There's now 70 of them, and 23,000 of you guys filled out this survey, rated every single pack, and we're gonna go through the list from the worst packs all the way to the best packs. So hopefully this will help you decide which packs you want to buy, which ones you want to avoid. Last year there was 17 kits. Now there's 25, so we're gonna go through them pretty quick. Number 25, the lowest rated is Modern Menswear Kit at a 4.2. Number 24 is Bust the Dust, 4.2. Look, I still have fun with this kit. I do enjoy it, but I understand the low rating. You only get the 3 items. The dust system is pretty annoying if you don't want it to work, and when it came out, it didn't work. So I get it. Number 23 is Carnival Streetwear Kit at a 4.6. You know, we're getting up there, nearly halfway there. Each of these ratings are out of 10. So, 4.6, not great. Below like 5, probably not a good place to be. Number 22 is Throwback Fit Kit at a 4.6, and we've got Fashion Street Kit at 4.9. Number 20 is Courtyard Oasis Kit, 5.6. We have the Poolside Splash Kit at number 19. Moving up to number 18 is a Symptoms Collection at a 5.9. At least we're kind of getting up to scores that are a little bit more respectable now. I feel like a 6 and above, if that's the kind of style you're after, I think it makes sense. I mean, we shouldn't be aiming for, don't get me wrong, we shouldn't be aiming for 6s. We should be, aiming for 10s, but below 4 is pretty bad. Anyway, moving on. Number 16 is Country Kitchen Kit at 6.6. We got Industrial Loft at 6.7. First Fits Kit, number 14, is rated at 6.7. We've got the Inchin Arrivals at 6.8. Decor to the Max at a 6.9. I actually really like this kit. If you like maximalist decor, this is so much fun. Number 11 is the Grunge Revival Kit, 7.0. 7, pretty respectable. We're getting somewhere. The Basement Treasures. Oh, I do love this kit. This one's a lot of fun. All the dirty and broken basement items. Ooh, that is good. We're in the top 10 now. Number 9 is the Little Campers at 7.4. We've got the Modern Luxe at a 7.7. I really like this kit too, actually. I feel like they're starting to hit the stride a lot more with the kits, at least with the build mode kits. They've been doing really well lately. Number 7 is the Bathroom Clutter Kit, 7.8. We got the Desert Luxe at 7.8 as well. Now this one was free last year when I asked you guys to all rate it. It's been a year since then. So it'll be interesting to see how many people own this kit now versus last year, because we're going to compare this year's results to last year's survey too. Number 5 is a Greenhouse Haven at 7.9, and number 4 is a Pastel Pop Kit. Fantastic kit. Love that one. Blooming Rooms, one of my faves as well. If you need more plants, really, really good. Number 2 is Everyday Clutter Kit at 8.4. And finally, that leaves number 1 as the Book Nook Kit. This one is fantastic. If you're going to get any kit, this is definitely a good one to get at 8.4. Now, moving on, let's have a look at the overall list. So we've got all the kits here in a big list, so this should help summarize it. If you need to have a closer look, you can always pause. If you're on mobile, you can zoom in with pinch to zoom as well. In the survey, if people didn't own a pack, I asked them to please not rate that pack, and that's how we calculate the number of people that own the pack. Now, of course, this is just an indicative number, and anyone could have filled out the survey and said they own a pack. So, take these ownership numbers with a grain of salt. It's just a fun idea, but we get a rough idea. You can see Modern Menswear Kit, which is the lowest rated kit, only has 24% of people taking the survey that actually own it, which is rough. And the Desert Luxe Kit has 74% of people who took the survey owning that pack, which again is because last year it was free. So that's why. Now, all this information down here is the change from last year. So for example, Pastel Pop Kit this year, 20.6% more people own it this year than last year. And that is simply because Pastel Pop, Everyday Clutter, they both released pretty much, I think like maybe a week before we did last year's survey. So not many people had bought them yet. So obviously that's gone up a lot. Desert Luxe, interestingly, has not changed even by 1%. It's time to move on to the stuff packs. We can't spend all day on kits as much as we all love talking about kits. Let's go through all the stuff packs. Of course, there's actually a new stuff pack this year, which was actually quite surprising. So let's have a look. Number 19 is no surprises, is My First Pet Stuff, rated 2.7 out of 10. That is low. That is very low. So this stuff pack, the reason I believe it's rated so low is to get every single item in this stuff pack, you actually have to own The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs. So this is a DLC that adds on to another DLC. But number 18, we've got Luxury Party Stuff Pack at a 3.2. Also pretty low. This was literally the first stuff pack. The items, just not very nice. It doesn't have that many things in it. I'm not surprised. As we get to the later half of this stuff pack list, the packs get a lot better. Number 17, Spooky Stuff, which again is also, it's kind of strange with The Sims 4 Seasons adding, Halloween as an actual holiday. This pack came out before that, so it was kind of in a strange spot after that came out. It does add the pumpkin carving and obviously some of the costumes that don't come in Seasons, but there you go. It's kind of a weird pack. Perfect Patio at number 16, adding the hot tub, which of course famously they added a free one into the base game. This one, I mean, look, I honestly use this one a lot, but I get it. These early stuff packs, they don't add that much. Number 15 is Cool Kitchen Stuff Pack at a 4.8. This adds, of course, the ice cream and a new kitchen set, which again, I do use at least the appliances in this kitchen a lot. But honestly, if you're looking for a kitchen stuff pack, now the obvious choice is going to be the new one, Home Chef Hustle. Moving on to number 14, we got Romantic Garden Stuff, which, beautiful, beautiful garden, but it is kind of strange. You do get the wishing well, but not a lot else, Then we got the Fitness Stuff Pack, which just adds the rock climbing wall. Well, not just, the rock climbing wall is pretty cool, but it does just add more workout equipment, which we have so much of in the game anyway. Number 12, we've got Bowling Night Stuff at a 5.2. You get the bowling lanes and then a few of those, themed items around a bowling alley. But, these screenshots make it look way more fun than it is. It's never that fun. It's never that busy. Number 11, we've got Backyard Stuff Pack at 5.2. Get the slip and slide. That's kind of it. I guess the bird feeder, and the drinks tray. There's there's a few little gameplay things, but I would say the name is pretty apt. Backyard Stuff. There's just stuff. I don't know. Number 10, the top 10 Vintage Glamour adds, of course, the Butler, rated at a 5.5. Number 9, Moschino Stuff. I actually quite like this, but it's only rated at a 5.5. The gameplay, we did play it recently in one of my Let's Plays. We did have a few issues with it, so it was a little clunky. But at number 8, we've got Movie Hangout Stuff, which of course is a very colorful boho kind of theme. It adds in, of course, movies that your Sims can watch by themselves or together with other Sims. Number 7 is Kids Room Stuff Pack. I use this bed in that box art right there. I use that literally all the time, I swear. And we've got the Void Critter game there as well. Oh, that puppet theater is from Kids Room Stuff? I don't know why I thought it was from Parenthood. The puppet theater is very cool. Number 6, Toddler Stuff Pack. Surprising, because it did add the infamous ball pit that was originally released a little less than complete. So they did update it. Number 5, we've got Nifty Knitting, and it really jumps a lot, the ratings. We're at 7.5 now. So this was actually one of the community rated, community voted on packs, where we got to choose different themes and styles, and the community as a whole would vote on what we wanted. And this was one of the ones that won. So this is a really nice pack, adds the rocking chairs as well, of course. Number 4, we've got Laundry Day Stuff, which it's always so funny. A laundry pack is something that Simmers want. We want to do laundry in The Sims, and I do love the challenge of laundry, and it's a nice little aesthetic in this pack too. Number 3, we've got Paranormal Stuff Pack. This is a great one. The actual gameplay in Paranormal Stuff is so much fun. If you get a whole new lot type, the haunted house, you get a bunch of different NPCs added. You get all these little specters flying around. You get Guidry, you get Temperance. Number 2, we've got Home Chef Hustle, a brand new stuff pack, which I agree with this rating, 8.1. This stuff pack was really good. This is the first stuff pack in 3 years or something like that, and they came back strong. This makes Cool Kitchen Stuff look so lame. The actual kitchen items, like here, really, really nice. The gameplay added with the actual new appliances makes cooking more of an activity you can do, start making some dough and mixing it up, and it actually helps you cook quicker as well. The new selling table as well, this guy here, which actually has spaces on the back where you can put the appliances and you can work all together on that actual selling table. So overall, very strong pack. I love the aesthetic, and the gameplay is really, really cool. But that leaves number 1 down to Tiny Living, still in the top spot. Yes, I love Tiny Living. It's, again, a fantastic pack. This adds another lot type, kind of like paranormal stuff. This adds a lot type, the tiny home residential. It adds that whole gameplay element to tiny homes. It adds a whole bunch of tiny home related items like the Murphy bed, smaller TV and radio and book units, and it gives you a bunch of benefits for actually building small. One of my favorite packs overall. So here is our list of all the stuff packs from worst to best. There is a big spread here, all the way from 2.7, my first pet stuff, down to an 8.9. So that's very, very good. 8.9, definitely the highest score we've seen so far. Now this is interesting. From last year, by the way, Luxury Party Stuff Pack, number 18, the second lowest rated stuff pack, actually has 10% more people owning it. And I saw that and I was like, that's really interesting. Why is that? Upon further research, it turns out in May of this year, Epic Games Store actually gave away Luxury Party Stuff Pack, Fashion Street Kit, and Jungle Adventure. They gave them away for free. So all three of those are free. So I'm willing to bet that 10% is just people that picked it up for free, because why would you buy that pack, honestly? I don't recommend it, but that explains the 10% increase. Before we jump into the expansion packs and game packs, we're going to have a look at the worlds in Sims 4. I asked you guys to rate all of the worlds except for the base game worlds, because, you know, everyone gets those for free. So every other world, you guys ranked them. Starting at the bottom, worst to best, Magnolia Promenade, you know what? Surprisingly, Batuu, not the worst world. I'm happy with that, you know. I'm happy with that. Then we got Del Sol Valley, Forgotten Hollow, and Glimmerbrook. So they already get pretty good. Once we're getting past Glimmerbrook, I think we're getting there. Now next up, we got Granite Falls, Brightchester, Strangerville, Evergreen Harbor, Copperdale, and Selva Dorada. So up the top, we've got San Sequoia, Moonwood Mill, 7.4. I like to believe that's because of the fantastic builds in that world. Someone did a very good job building in that world. Whoever made those lots, fantastic. Then we have Tartosa, which is very surprising that Tartosa is such a highly rated world, but let me tell you, that pack is not rated that well. Then next up, we got Mount Komorebi and Brindleton Bay. Yeah, pretty much every single world in that top row, they're all fantastic. As long as you like the actual style of the world, if that's the style you're after, that world is really good. So number 5, we've got Chestnut Ridge. So this is one of the new worlds in the last year, rated at 8.1, and 52% of the people that took this survey own Horse Ranch and this world. So that, you know, that 8.1 is based on 50% of the people in the survey. And then moving on, number 4, we've got Solani, which this is a beautiful world. I remain to this day of the opinion that I'm not a huge fan of the gameplay in Island Living, and I don't really know what to do in Island Living, but the world was always beautiful. Number 3, we've got Windenburg, which is a fantastic world. I wish more worlds were as big as Windenburg. We're never going to get a world this big again. This has so many lots and so many neighborhoods, but all fit together so nicely. Number 2, we've got San Myshuno, a fan favorite. 92% of people own this, rating it at 8.5. If you want to play in a city, this is currently the world to do it in. And then number 1 is Henford on Bagley, which I believe was number 1 last year too. So this is an 8.9. 87% of people own this world. So there you go. Best world in game, assuming you're after the style, but overall, people love it. All right, it's game pack time. So we're going to go through all 12 game packs. Let me know what you think the best game pack is. And maybe what the worst is. I don't think you're going to guess what the worst one is. Let me just say that. Number 12, drum roll please, is Journey to Batuu. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you probably did guess this. No surprises there. Journey to Batuu. Most people, you know, either don't want Star Wars in their game, or if they are a fan of Star Wars, they're not a fan of this because it doesn't really live up to what they want out of Star Wars and Sims. I personally, as much as I joke about this pack, I like the build mode, the creator sim, and I think the world is pretty cool, but obviously you can't live in this world. You can't really do anything in this world besides the gameplay quests, which once you've done the quest, there's not a whole lot of variety to it. You can't become like a Jedi or anything, which would have been cool if you could. A lot of people love to hate on this, and I've also included in this survey all the graphs of the votes. So look at this. This is funny. The numbers on the bottom are the score. So here at number 10, 900 people rated the build mode 10. Okay, that's how that works. And then at the bottom, 1,161 rated it 0, for example. So, but what's really interesting about these graphs, can you tell? Look how skewed it is and how many people are rating 0 And then, of course, there's also a skew to people rating 10. So people are rating this 0 on purpose and people are rating it 10 on purpose. So the ratings on this are a little skewed. But I think the opinion is very clear. Not people's favorite pack. All right, let's stop spending time on Batu. Let's move on. Number 11, Dine Out. Now, let's talk a little bit more about these scores down the bottom here. So each of these categories, I asked you guys to rate 0 to 10. So on average, people rated the Creator Sim items that came in Dine Out a 4.2. And people on average rated the build mode items and themes a 5.3. And the gameplay that comes with it a 4.5. And again, that's out of 10, okay? And then I used those 3 scores. We average it all together. We get a pack score of 4.7 out of 10. So not great. And I think it's pretty clear why this has a low rating. This pack is notoriously one of the most buggy packs in The Sims 4. It used to work a lot better. Even when it came out, it was buggy. It's more buggy now. You literally need a mod to be able to play this and have fun with it. So yeah, that makes sense. To be honest, I'm surprised the gameplay even got a 4.5. It should probably be lower than that. And just for a demonstration of the graphs, this is what graphs should look like. You know, a nice little bell curve almost. Whereas the Batu graphs were a little bit sus. All right, number 10, we have Outdoor Retreat, the very first game pack. This one, of course, has a world, so we get a world rating as well. The world was 5.5, Creator Sim 4.4, Build Mode 5.1, and Gameplay 5.4 for an overall score of 5.1. So, you know, just above 5. Yeah, look, it's not, I don't use this game pack a lot, to be honest. I don't really know what to do with it. I use the items from time to time, but we don't really often go to Granite Falls or do the herbalism skill. We did do it semi-recently in a Let's Play, but we don't do it often. Number 9, we have Spa Day, which is kind of surprising. Not surprising in like a, wow, I didn't expect that, but they put time and money into creating a pack refresh for this. They literally went back years later, added more features and more items to this pack, and it's still rated low. And when I say surprising, I mean, obviously it's rated low. It's a pack about going to a spa. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I just don't think it's a good pack theme. I think this would be a good theme to add into another pack. Like if Spa Day was just a part of Get Famous, that makes more sense. I don't know, having a whole individual pack for Spa Day, it doesn't make sense. And I don't know why they invested time and money into refreshing this pack. Realm of Magic is at number 8, and that has a rating of 5.9. It's getting better. I mean, I really enjoy this sort of spellcaster thing, but once you sort of understand the flow of it, and the spells are very much things you can already do in The Sims 4. They don't really add anything new per se, but they do, it adds the story of you being a spellcaster and having magic. Number 7, vampires. All right, so we're getting, the ratings are getting up there now. 6.9. I reckon the vampire game pack is actually pretty fun. It is pretty fun, and especially when you become a super powerful vampire, you can do some pretty funny things. And actually now in combination, vampires with the werewolves game pack, having those two occult sort of clash is a lot of fun too. Moving on, we've got number 6, Strangerville, which is rated 6.2. The world is the best rated thing. I really like the world. I think the world is my favorite thing. As long as I think you have to kind of do the mother gameplay at least once, just to sort of disable it, or there's probably cheats as well. But if you're not interested in the whole mother plant aspect of the pack, once that's out of the way, I really enjoy the world. Number 5, we've got My Wedding Stories, which honestly, it's a lot higher than I think it should be. Because literally, if you buy this pack, it like breaks weddings. Your weddings are just dead. They don't work anymore. But you can see what's boosting it up. The world score, the Creator Sim stuff, and even the build mode. If they literally took out the gameplay from this pack and it was just like a stuff pack of like items, it would probably be better. It'd probably get a higher rating. Let's actually just take a quick look at the graphs for this one. This one's quite funny because you can see how much higher the ratings are for the world, build mode, and the Creator Sim. And then the gameplay is just like really skewing low. Very few people rated the gameplay in Wedding Stories a 10. Only 108 people voted 10. Number 4, we've got Jungle Adventure. So this was Game Pack 7, the 7th one, I think, somewhere around there. So, they had quite a few going on there. The world is a lot of fun. It is a shame that it is only a holiday world and you can't, live there or tell stories actually in the world. So you can see here the graphs as well. I do like looking at these graphs on the higher rated ones because you can see all the bell curves sort of skewing more to the top of the graphs there. But let's move on to number 3, which is going to be Parenthood, which does not have a world, but, overall rated 7.2. It does add a whole gameplay system to kids and teenagers and adds, there we go, that's the gameplay system right there. So you can sort of build different personalities and you get reward traits based on that. And of course it adds a bunch of these, school projects in as well. You get the brand new kitchen as well that came with it. Yeah, overall, I really enjoy this. I think Parenthood for me is kind of one of the, I would say almost essential packs in Sims 4. This one, I feel like I would have a very different experience having a family without Parenthood in Sims 4. Moving on to number 2, we have the Sims 4 Werewolves, which is surprising because there was actually a bunch of comments before this video came out of people worried that Werewolves was going to be rated low, and it's not. It's very well liked. Obviously, not as many people own this, and we will see how many people own this pack because, if you don't like werewolves and you don't like occults, you're not going to get this, and that's fine. But the people that do own this really like it, and I can say I'm one of them. I really like this pack, not just because I built the lots in the world, but I do. But the actual gameplay of being a werewolf and the werewolf skill tree, I had so much fun playing that. And the whole werewolf pack system, where there's the 2 different rival packs and you can sort of become the pack leader, work your way through it. You go to each different one. And then I guess the actual werewolf creator sim thing is a whole cool element. Some people don't like the look of the werewolves in The Sims 4, and that's fine. But the amount of customization in them is actually really cool. So here are the graphs, and you can see now how high they're actually kind of skewing to the top of the scale. I mean, this is a 7.3, but it is not the number 1 pack. The number 1 pack, of course, is the one that is left. Dream Home Decorator, which I believe was number 1 last year too. The items in it are so good. I use the items from this pack all of the time, and the Creator Sim too. The gameplay is one of those things that people, I think, either love or hate. I love the gameplay in this. It basically means you get to go to a house and renovate it. You're just basically playing build mode, which a lot of people were like, I already have build mode. I don't want to do that. But I like the added element of my sim being the person building. And, you get almost randomized likes and dislikes depending on what sim you're talking to. And you have to make the house like that. And we had such a fun Let's Play doing that. I had so much fun. Now, sometimes it's bugged. It may be bugged at the moment. It was bugged when it came out too. That's kind of a theme in Sims 4. If it's not bugged, it is a lot of fun if you're into that kind of thing. But let's have a look at the overall list. So this table is all the game packs listed by score. So you can see here, we're going from 4.1 down to 7.1. And I'm going to go through each of these ordered by the different categories. But first of all, let's have a look at how many people own each of these packs. So you can see Sims 4 Werewolves, like I said, 54% of people own Sims 4 Werewolves, which is not nearly as much as the number 1 pack at 80%. But more people own Werewolves than My Wedding Stories and Journey to Batuu, which Journey to Batuu is only 34.2, though increase of 2.9% since last year. Now, remember, Jungle Adventure was given away for free, so that's actually risen by 8.7%. Now, here's all the game packs ordered by the best gameplay. So if you're looking for the best gameplay game pack, have a look at this list. Here they are ordered by build mode. So if you're after the best build mode, have a look at this list. If you're after the best creator sim stuff, this is the list for you. And of course, we already had a look at the worlds earlier. But now let's move into the final category, the expansion packs. Now we've got 2 new expansion packs from last year. So let's see where they actually fit in the overall list. Now, before we get into this, which one do you think is going to be the lowest rated? And which one do you think is going to hit number 1 this year? The results may surprise you. All right, number 14, The Sims 4 Get to Work. I think this is consistently rated the lowest. And then overall, this leads to a score of 4.6, which I think is lower than it should be. I will continue to stan Get to Work. I use this pack so dang much in my gameplay. But I know if you don't play how I do, and I literally use one small part of it, like the retail store. That's the part I use all of the time. But the detective, the doctor, and the scientist career, which is the main part of this pack, I barely ever use. And when I do, they can often be a little bit of a slog and maybe buggy to get through. So if that's what you're rating the pack on, I get it. I totally get it. To number 13, which of course is Get Famous. And that overall score for this pack is a 5.7. So quite a step up from the last one. I enjoyed this pack. I really had fun with it doing the actor career. This, much like Get to Work, has the interactive career where you go to the work and you work with your sim at the location. And those can be really fun the first time, and then you probably never do it again. So it kind of falls flat. And then it does have the whole fame system, which you can do outside of the work. But that's kind of like pretty surface level of how it works and the benefits you get for it. You know, it's fun, but I could see it improving that. By the way, if you didn't see it, I am in this trailer, my self-sim. There I am, right there. That was me. Moving on, number 12 is The Sims 4 Get Together. So this was the second expansion pack, and you can see the world score on this is really juicing the pack score. We're already up to a 6.8. So even the 12th best expansion pack is 6.8 out of 10, so it's not that bad. I think you'd still have a lot of fun getting this. It adds the whole club system, which you can use with any combination of activities. Like they usually update it to add new stuff in, so you can create a club of people that are into knitting, for example, and that's what they're going to do. Or you can use them to have all your Sims painting together. There's a lot of applications for that feature. Number 11, Island Living. And as we saw, the world in this has a very high score of 8.3, but what lets it down is the gameplay. You know, there is the conservationist career where that's kind of half active. You don't actually go to the job, but you can work from home and you go around the island doing different things, either cleaning up stuff or collecting things. And of course they added mermaids in, but the mermaids don't have a skill tree like vampires or werewolves or anything like that. It's just kind of you turn into a mermaid or you don't. And that's kind of it. So that a lot of people feel like that's a missed opportunity. And also this is one of the packs that I think they probably should have done a refresh on. I think a refresh of Island Living would have been better than Spa. But anyway, that's Island Living. It's 7.0. You know, that's still a very good score. Moving into the top 10, we have Discover University. I really do like this pack. I do. But I also get that the actual university thing, a lot of people will struggle at The Sims 4 University because it literally takes 100% of your time if you want to do well. And I think it's fun. It does take a long time, but I enjoy the challenge. What's letting us down here is actually the world. I guess it's hard for this world to be rated that well because, you know, about 75% of it is dedicated to the universities. There's 2 of them, and there's only like a small town section of like, 3 or so residential lots you could actually build and just live in normally. So I guess that's what lets it down there. Anyway, number 9, we have Eco Lifestyle, which was the very first pack in The Sims 4 that had community members actually build lots in it. Well, there was only one lot in this that was built by a creator. This was the first one they did it in, and they never looked back since then. Pretty much every pack since then has had lots built by community members. So that's a fun little fact. I really enjoyed the off-the-grid element to Eco Lifestyle of like the solar panels, the water collectors, all that kind of stuff. And even is it the inventor career or whatever this career is? I've forgotten what it's called. But where you actually fabricate stuff. This is like the sort of machine that you can use, first of all, as you saw, to clean up the pollution, but also to go dumpster diving and find a bunch of items. And if you find a burnt couch, you can use that machine to fix the couch. And you can build an entire house from dumpster diving. There's a lot of fun possibilities in it. And changing the environments from polluted to like really fancy and nice is kind of fun, but I did that once. You know, that's a kind of one-time thing. But dumpster diving, that's forever. That's a forever thing to me. Number 8, we have City Living. This is a fan favorite. You know, being a number 8, I thought this would be a little bit higher. I mean, it's a 7.3. It is a very good rating. The world is an 8.5. Build mode is 7.2 and a gameplay at a 7.2 as well. It's the creator sim pulling it down a little bit. The creator sim in this pack, I guess, was very loud and very vibrant and very, let's say, expressive. You know, it was very out there. I mean, you can see from this guy's outfit, you know what I mean? That's kind of the creator sim in this pack. So I guess if it had a more subdued sort of styling there, probably would have skewed a little bit higher. But overall, this is still a great pack. People still love this. If you want a city pack, this is the one to get. Number 7, come on down, Sims 4 high school years. So this came out shortly before last year's survey. So this year, I feel like we're going to have a better rating and understanding of this pack because people have had a year's worth of time to get acquainted with it, and we're not skewed by recency bias. Because if a pack comes out just before we do this survey, people will tend to rate it higher just because it's new, and that's fair. But now, it's been a year. It's rated 7.4, which honestly, I hear a lot of people say they don't really like this pack and they don't like the gameplay of high school. But it's not even rated that low. You know, a 6.4, granted, it's not great, but it's not as bad as what I've seen people like, say. And I personally, I did like the school gameplay. I thought it was fun. Again, because it's like that active career element, like get famous or like get to work, it's fun for the first time. And then once you've gone to school a few days, it's kind of like, why am I doing this? Why am I going? Unless you're trying to tell a specific story at school, which we did throughout our Let's Play, which was a lot of fun. Once you've been to school, going to it again is not that fun. So, So yeah, the build mode in this pack is actually really good. We got this whole like gamer aesthetic room in there. There's a whole bunch of different vibes you can get from all the different items in this pack, including really nice Art Deco elements. So I love the build mode in this pack. So I think that rating makes a lot of sense. But let's go ahead and move on to number 6, which is Cats and Dogs. So here we are. This one, I think, got a very nice world, 8.1. I love Brindleton Bay. I always love that world. If there's no world I want to live in, Brindleton Bay is always there for me. If I'm lost, I'm going to go to Brindleton Baby. But yeah, overall high rating across the board is 7.4 in total. The 6.5 in Creator Sim is probably because I don't think there was a whole lot going on in Creator Sim, but to be fair, they added, cats and dogs and that whole Creator Sim element. So I guess it's where more of it went. So if you're not doing the whole cat and dog thing and customizing them that much, I guess there's probably not that much in Creator Sim. Number 5, we got The Sims 4 Snowy Escape. This one, I also built lots in this one. Just saying, Snowy Escape and Werewolves are the 2 packs that I built lots in, so, I'm a little biased. The world here is rated an 8.1. Yeah, the build mode and the items that came with this are really, really nice. I mean, if you're trying to do a Japanese-inspired world or a build, it nails it. I think it looks great. The world itself is really, really cool. I love actually climbing the mountain. That you have to do through gameplay. You got to have a good rock climbing skill, get up the mountain. Again, though, these things are really cool. Like climbing the mountain is an actual thing you can do and go with your sim. Again, like high school, like the Get Famous career, like the Get to Work careers. These active things that you get to go and do, they're really cool, but they don't have a lot of replayability. You kind of do it once. And then once you've done it, you're like, nah, I don't want to do it again. It's a lot of work and you don't get a lot back from it. So here's some of the rock climbing there. It's very cool. But yeah, the gameplay in this pack is definitely lacking. You got snowboarding and skiing, which again is very cool, but it's that thing where you just click on it, your sim goes down, they go back up, they go down, they go back up. There's not really anything to go with it. So that's where the gameplay lets it down. But overall, other than that, 7.5, very respectable. All right, let's move into number 4. We're getting very close to the top. And here's our first new expansion pack from last year, which means Growing Together is also in the top 3. So there you go. But Horse Ranch rated 7.9. I mean, I've had a lot of fun with this pack. I've had so much fun building our ranch, running our ranch, having all the animals. I think this pack combined with Cottage Living, which by the way, we haven't seen yet either. So that's somewhere in the top 3. So fantastic. If you're into horses, a lot of fun. Now, yeah, the actual horse themselves and the gameplay directly related to it is maybe not as in-depth as the Sims 3 version, which, story of The Sims 4, let's be real. But still, I've had so much fun with this pack. And I have enjoyed the horses, breeding the horses, having the foals, training them, doing the competitions, and the interactions of the horses with other animals, like the baby goats and baby sheep, and also cats and dogs that you may have, and chickens, and all that. All the other animals and interactions are so cute. The build mode as well is really, really cool. If you're into that ranch aesthetic, whether it's more rustic or more contemporary, this is so perfect. And the world, we've already been over the world. It is beautiful. Creator Sim also, if you're looking to go yeehaw, this is the pack for you. I love it. I do love this pack. So yeah, that's a very well earned 4. Let's have a look at the graph. Look at this graph. Look at this graph for the world. Only 44 people rated the world a 0. Which look, there's always going to be someone rating something a 0. So we're never going to get no people rating it 0, but only 44. And then likewise, look at all these. There's like so few people rating it low. And it's the same with the other categories. This is a really, really good pack. But number 3, we got Growing Together, our other new pack. So this, again, came out earlier this year, but 7.9. Again, I had so much fun with this pack. We did a huge Let's Play with this. We had a huge family of, I had like 7 children in the end, I think, and then another child from the other family. We did a lot. We did a lot in this. It was so much fun. The world is really, really nice as well. I actually think, at first, the world, I was kind of not, I was a bit disappointed, I'm going to be real. But the more time goes on, I'm really enjoying building in this world. and having lots that fit in with the city aesthetic. Because this is like another city world, but it's not as like big. You're not like central city like San Myshuno. This is more like city, but a little bit, you know, in a medium density area. And I think that does provide a different space to do builds, which I think is great. Yeah, so this also added the infant update. Now, infants, everyone got that in Sims 4, but this pack added a whole bunch of extra stuff for infants, which, you know, love it or hate it, it does make infants much more in-depth and much more difficult to raise and grow. But you know, you do it together, you grow together, and it is good, it is fun. So if you're into family gameplay and having big families and telling those stories, this and Parenthood, oof, you're gonna have a good time. Or a hard time if you don't like it, I don't know. Anyway, let's go to number 2. It's gonna be The Sims 4 Seasons, really getting up there. This again is another one of those like must-have packs. I mean, if you kind of want a little bit more realism in your game, this adds weather, you know, weather and seasons. You know, you kind of need this. I would highly recommend this. And the whole holiday system, being able to create holidays, you know, not just predetermined holidays. You can delete any holiday that's in the game, make your own fully custom ones. I think that is such a good thing that they did that, because it does allow for a lot of customization and a lot of different storytelling there. But overall, things are rated very high. But this is it the only expansion without a world? I think so. Yeah, it's just Get to Work had a really bad world, but this is the only one without a world. So anyway, but yeah, let's have a look at these graphs. Look at this gameplay graph. That gameplay graph, if you want gameplay, Seasons is where it's at. So there you go. And of course, that leaves at number 1, The Sims 4 Cottage Living, which again, I believe was number 1 last year as well. So this is still very much enjoyed. And yeah, this pack is fantastic. If you want to go live your cottage fairy lifestyle, fairy's not included, by the way. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. This is great. We, again, had a massive Let's Play. I feel like when I'm doing a Let's Play on a game and we sort of get lost in it and it grows beyond just what the actual pack is and we tell all these different stories and it's just really inspired, I think that's when I know the pack is really good. And this one was so good. I love the whole like farming aspect and the fact that they included the llamas and cows in this pack and the chickens, having all of that. And then, like I said, combining that now with Horse Ranch, which is also a very good rated pack. Ooh, you're having a good time. You're eating well. If you like animals, there's a lot of good packs now in The Sims 4. Number 1 rated world in the game as well. And number 1 rated expansion pack. Like this is it. This is it. You're buying nothing else. Not that I'm trying to sell you anything here. I'm not getting anything for this besides YouTube ad revenue. I'm not sponsored. I don't get any benefits. But if you were to buy one, this is it. Let's have a look at those graphs, just because, I mean, look at those graphs. I mean, it doesn't get more positive than that, does it? Sims team, if you're watching, make more of this pack. You know, this is what we want. Good everywhere. As much as I like Journey to Batuu, do not make more of this pack, Sims. These ratings are terrible. Don't do this. All right, here's all the expansions listed by their score, and let's have a look at the change in ownership from last year. So a lot of people from last year have purchased High School Years, which makes sense because, like I said, last year this had only just released. So there's been a whole year since then now, a lot more people getting it. But other than that, not too much of a change overall. A lot more people buying Cottage Living. Here's all expansions ordered by gameplay. So if you're looking for the best gameplay, this is the list to look at. If you're looking for build mode, this is your list just here. And if you're looking for Creator Sim stuff, this is the list that you want to look at. Now, just before we head off, let's have a look at a full list of every single pack in the same list to see the scores from worst to best. So here is every single Sims 4 pack in a list based on the scores that you, the community, gave them. Number 70, My First Pet Stuff, and a 2.7. That is rough. But of course, all the way at number 1, we go up to 8.9. That is huge. And here is a list of all DLC by the number of people that own them. So the least owned pack overall, Modern Menswear Kit, only 24.5% of people own it. Then Poolside Splash, which is relatively new, so that kind of makes sense. But the most owned pack is Seasons at 94.9%, which is massive. Well, thank you for coming on this journey with me for a second year in a row. We'll be back next year. Hopefully, we're going to do this as a yearly thing because there's more and more packs every year. And if you want a brief little summary of all those tables, there is a link in the description that will go to my website that has the kits stuff packs, game packs, and expansions all in the tables there. So you can see that there. You can also download the spreadsheet of results. So if you want to see the actual raw data that I used to make all of this, you can download that over there. But thank you so much to my top level members for supporting the channel. And thank you so much to you for taking part in this survey, because I know it is a big survey. There's 70 packs, and going through and rating and filling out that survey is a lot of work. So I really, really appreciate it. And I hope this video did you justice. You know, I want to make your time worth it, because I know doing that is not easy. So hopefully this video was worth it. Stay tuned for next year, because next year I have a few ideas of things I actually want to add into the survey. Maybe a category on how buggy a pack is. Could be a good one, because I think that's kind of a good point to know. Like, I'm guessing that some of the packs are buggy from my own experiences, but if I can have you guys also input, you know, a rating, you know, how buggy is this pack, I think that would be a good metric to have. Do you think? If you have any other suggestions, let me know down below. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I'll see you next time, and have an awesome day.